Spider's back! Spider, Spider! Here comes Spider CFL's Red Zone Rule. Hit it! How you doing? It's like 1:30 Halifax time in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada. Welcome everybody. Anybody? I had I think a few people from Russia and some other countries around the world say they were watching me, so welcome into your living room, all of you. And a shout out to Brad McDonald too. He's one, and Mr. McLeod, Eric McLeod, two of my, probably best fans. And Brad McDonald is a great guy, and I heard him on on the Todd Vino show in Halifax about my segment is gonna be about, I'm gonna get into in a minute. And anyway, I just want to say that I worked hard, like an hour and a half plus to set this up. It's totally authentic, and so like, and it's the same to tear it down. There's no green screen I'm hiding behind. I mean, this is like totally originality, like a songwriter, like the Guess Who that wrote every song except for "Shakin' All Over," that it was an international famous hit around the world, that Johnny and the Pirates only made famous in England, in the top 20 in Billboard around the world. And Running Bear, interesting song, the Rocking album. That's Guns, 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 and Heartbroken Bopper. That was a big hit for them as well. Actually, when I was in Australia, I'll tell you a story. Years ago, I turned to the radio, and they actually released Running Bear. It was a cover. The Guess Who, Burton Cummings and the Guess Who, and it went #1 in Australia, in Sydney, Australia. I was there, and it was #1 for the week. They actually released it as a 45 there. That's how popular they were in Australia and New Zealand. They actually toured in Australia. They were huge in Australia and in New Zealand, and the Three Dog Night opened for them. Okay, it's unbelievable, but they were big all around the world. I mean, Burton Cummings just said they were big in the Philippines and big in Africa, Brazil. They toured Japan. They actually toured the Philippines. Apparently, Burton Cummings said they were around the world. They're big in Hawaii. Really big in Japan. So I Guess Who, hey, here, shout out to Burton Cummings, still performing, getting big crowds, 75 years old. Again, he's totally authentic. His band, he said it on stage in 2000 Guess Who reunion, he's totally authentic. The band, the instrumentation, the vocals, all the harmonies, his lead vocal, everything is live. Just like this set here, okay? So let's get into the session. And the session, what's going to be is before I do that, I just want to say a shout out to my son and his fiancee to be wife, Cindy, or I call her Cinderella. She's an angel. They're in love, and they're in Greece. They landed in Greece yesterday, and they're going to get married in Greece and then do their honeymoon. And they're going to be on a boat going to different islands, and they're going to go to Italy as well. And it's remarkable. I'm so proud of them. I love them. And they're getting married on September 22nd. And anyway, when you get back, son, because he couldn't get the Labor Day game against, which was fantastic, against Edmonton and Calgary. What a game. A lot of great games. I'm going to get into in my next session what happened this weekend. I'm going to have a whole thing on it, back to back after this. But he said he's going to wear this at the next Stampeders game he goes. He couldn't get to the Labor Day game that he gave me, my SPYDER S Red Zone Bowl jersey. Okay, see it? The football's on the shoulders. My SPYDER S Red Zone Bowl with the footballs on the shoulders, similar to well, I actually designed them a little differently. My SPYDER S Red Zone logo on the sleeves, and my banner on the back, and my main logo on the front. It's a hockey jersey. It should have been a football jersey, but I wouldn't have the long sleeves. That's why it doesn't fit for me. It's too baggy, and it doesn't show everything, but it works for him because he's in good shape, a muscular and young man, and he's got a medium, and he's going to be wearing my CFL Red Zone Roll hat at the next Stampeders game he goes to. Okay, so he's going to take a picture of that, and I'll have it on set to show you. Okay, let's get into the session. Okay, so that's enough for the intro. And this session's on Derek Martin, I don't know if he's owner or he's involved in the Hamilton group. He's from Hamilton, owns the team, but he's CEO anyway. He runs the ship. He made a presentation to the Halifax Community Development Committee, and there was a few councillors on there. Shithead Wayne Mason, that idiot, was on. Another idiot, Councillor Austin, that jerk. And then there was Mr. Tim Outfit, who I'm not very keen on either, and one other lady that was on. But Outfit actually said something that I'll give him credit for, and I'll go over that in a few minutes, okay? So anyway, he made this presentation, okay? Derek Martin, from the Halifax Wanderers, for the Wanderers grounds, for his little Mickey Mouse. He has actually, before I get into particulars of what he presented in relation to the stadium itself, he has 6,500 bench seats there, and we as a property tax owner, like myself, taxpayers, paid almost $1 million for that grass pitch. And this is an interesting twist on his presentation. His whole presentation was very manipulative and very self-centered, and he's got, no doubt about it, the guy's it's loaded with ego. He's very egotistical, and basically he wants the Halifax, he wants us, our property owners, our tax. We're the ones that give the city all their money. Same with the province. It's the property tax owners. We're being creamed and overcharged for this crooked climate change scam. Okay, another like 6% or more, like every year we're getting, or 3.5, well 6% in 2 years. Just like, buy a heat pump, and electricity's going up 16% by January 1st, it'll be up 16% in less than a year. And buy a heat pump that doesn't work in minus 10 temperatures like here with the dampness. Oh yeah, what a scam. Anyway, let me get back on track here to Derek Martin's presentation for his little Mickey Mouse stadium for the Halifax Wanderers grounds. Okay, and he's got basically Mayor Savage, who wasn't even there. He's got him in his back pocket, and don't believe one word he says. Too bad for the fog, sun fog coming in after our crazy Hurricane Lee. Lee, go away and leave us be. That was basic category 1. It was crazy. I mean, around the clock, it was, thank God the power stayed on. I watch CFL football, but we're getting some sun now, so you're going to get a lot of cloud in my graphic monitor shots there. But anyway, Derek Martin made his presentation at the City Hall, and his first line, he come out taking a shot at the CFL for about the $100 million stadium they wanted to build, okay, with a Drummond group that the city was only going to give $20 million to, and reneged on it. It's a drop in a bucket for a stadium, but he wants $40 million for his. So Derek Martin. So basically, he had 6,500 seats with benches. He's got all his what he calls nostalgia, these container pairs that he made suites out of. Okay, he wants them there, and the reason he wants them there so they can't build anything bigger than 8,500, and that's what he wants. His sweet spot. He wants it all for him. He doesn't want any competition. He doesn't want them to possibly think they could build 15 or even 20,000 there. Oh no, because he wants to push out the CFL. His little Mickey Mouse little pop-up, I don't know, he didn't use the word pop-up, he used it for his benches, his 6,500 little pop-up thing he has there now for the Halifax Wanderers soccer team, by the way. I'll tell you a little more about their credibility and if they'll be in business or not too. So basically what he did, he's bringing in like a prefabricated modular stadium that's built in sections, and it's wood. I'll show you pictures of it. Actually, you want to see a picture of it, you can see it right here. right here. Okay, here's a picture of this little Mickey Mouse little thing, and basically on the Bell on the Wanderers ground on the Bell Road side. I don't know if you can see that. You can. That's okay. He has only 20 rows of seats there. That's all that's there, and he has a steel roof over it, and it's a wooden frame, prefabricated, modular thing that they bring sections of. Okay, and down in this kitchen, he actually curves it on the corner there. He brings it around on the corner into his kitchen party section, but I think there's less than 20 rows there. And he's this 20 row thing or less is deliberately set up. Okay, it's totally designed. He's totally designed it that they couldn't build anything else there. Okay, because something bigger could be built there. It obviously can, because you mentioned, oh, they could expand it to 13,005 or whatever if they use the other side, the Sackville side, and they put a CFL sized football field in there. There wouldn't be a lot of room on the Summer Street side, but there could be. But he's putting these old like container pier stuff there, piers, to eliminate anything going there. If they were to put a retractable stands there that could move in and out for football and for soccer, like they did at Toronto FC, actually a BMO Field Stadium in Toronto, where the Toronto FC and the Argonauts play. But anyway, that's his little Mickey Mouse thing. And he's got skyboxes on the top there, the 20 rows, where there could be more rows. And by the way, the problem is with this is that the Lancers are behind, and they're stable, and their buildings and everything. But there's a road going in there, and it's like a 2.5 length dirt road in there. So you could probably go, I lost it now, there it is. You could probably go up more than 20 rows. They got 22 there now. He's reducing to 20 because of the skyboxes he's putting in. But you could go up to 30, 35, maybe even 40 if you have an architect that this is going out like this. If your architect that put it up more of an angle, went up higher, okay. And there's room in that 2.5 lane gravel pit entrance there, road going in to the Wanderers ground past the stable and the horse buildings. There's room there, but he doesn't want anything more there. And by the way, on the other side, where the Sackville Street side, that side where the public gardens is, where he wants to keep his nostalgia, container fair suites, he called. Yeah, you can. He says that could be expanded up to 13.5. That could be expanded more than that if it's angled. You got to angle it more. He's going out like this. You have to angle it more upward. And actually, this is built by 6'5", and 6'5", they actually own a CPL soccer team. Okay, and they're the ones building. How political is that? And by the way, you know. He goes, he wants to sign a 30-year lease, and sleazebag Mason, Council Mason said, oh, that would pay for it. Are you kidding me? He pays $2,400 to $2,800 rent. That's all he pays. In 14 games or more, I don't know, factor it out. He wouldn't even be paying for the pitch that cost $1 million. You know, in 30 years, he wouldn't even pay for that. Okay? Listen, Wayne Mason, you're a scumbag. You said you had tickets for Touchdown Atlantic St. Mary. You never had tickets. Said your father was sick. Well, okay, I feel bad if your father was sick, but you never had tickets. You're a liar. You'd be booed. People can't stand you. They hate you. They literally hate you. I hate to say it, but you're hated. You're ignorant, and you're a prick. And are they giving you money? Are they giving you money? Is Martin and his gang from Hamilton, are they giving you money? Okay? Because you're a liar. And so is Austin. You're exactly the same. The two of you, you're the two that, you know, disrespected the CFL and degraded the CFL, our own brand of football in our own country, 110 years. Okay? The CFL, the Grey Cup, 110 Grey Cups, you imagine. Our own brand of football in an old country that has heritage and tradition and lots of history. And you run it out of town and disrespect it like you're still doing and show no respect for the CFL. The CFL did nothing for Touchdown Atlantic at St. Mary's. They gave nothing. Nothing. Now you know what? The Halifax, you know what? You're all a bunch of leftists, radical leftists, you know, liars, you know, and you're in bed with like Martin, who's another radical leftist liberal, okay? The Wanderers, Halifax Wanderers here. You can have your Halifax Wanderers, okay? And your little Mickey Mouse little stadium, 8,500 seats. What a joke. It's an embarrassment for a city the size of Halifax. That's almost 500,000 people. Not 50,000 people. 500,000 people, you clowns. And Mayor Savage, oh yeah, down there with Fillmore at the rugby game that was only half full. And yeah, oh yeah, behind the scenes, yeah, making a deal with Derek Martin and the Halifax Wanderers with Wayne Mason. I know. Oh yeah, and then you try to make it yourself look good that you were at lunch with Randy and Brosy. Oh yeah, what a con artist you are, Mayor Savage. You're a disgrace to our city, and all you radical leftist councillors down there. What you imagine? It's not a city in Canada that wouldn't want a CFL team in their city, that wouldn't want to build at least a modest $100 million stadium, okay, that you're spending more than that to build the Halifax Forum that's a dump and falling down. It should be torn down, oh, because of who the councillor is. Oh yeah, oh of course, I won't get into any more on that, because we know what they do. You know what, Black Lives Matter all over streets, all lives matter. You play the race card, that's all you do here. And you're homeless. They're all a bunch of druggies. Oh yeah, with the hurricane. Oh, you got shelter for them. Oh, but you want them exposed and blame it on Kim Houston. And good for you, Kim Houston. You fired back at them. Bunch of sleazebags. Oh, the fees. Oh yeah, put another right-of-way thing in charge for my drain out here in front of my house that I clean out. You don't do a thing. And got a big charge of my property tax. You bunch of crooks. And Premier Houston, who's a conservative, is right. All the fees and how they rob the developers here. That's what. And there could never be affordable housing. Never. And the way they're robbing the property taxpayer for all your scams, your bicycle. No one uses a bicycle lane. Your homeless lies. A bunch of druggies. Just look at the pictures of them. They're the ones that did the public gardens and chopped our trees down in Park Victoria. They're everywhere. Oh, you wanted to put them on the commons too, didn't you? You sleazebag Mason. You sleazebag Councillor Mason. You're full of shit. You don't know what you're talking about. And you're a con artist, and you're sleazy leftist liberal. That's what you are, just like Mayor Savage. And Austin, you're the same. Yeah, you. All of you down there. Actually, Tim Outfit, I thought, was just like him, because he slammed the CFL forward, ran it down into the ground, and no respect at all. But he said something interesting after Derek Martin's presentation, and said, well, how does this work? This is smaller than the Metro Center. He said 10,000, there's actually 11,000 seats for hockey. Maybe 10 or 9 or 10 or less, or around 9 for concerts. But he's right, 8,500 seats, it's smaller, it's outdoors. And he said that's Metro Center's indoors. And he said, how does that work with the CFL? Because, you know, what he's basically saying, how you'd ever get a CFL team attracted, or an owner attracted, a CFL attracted to a stadium, they could never play in the stadium, they'd be out of business. They wouldn't even entertain that. You know, you got to have a minimum of 20,000 permanent seats, you know, in a CFL stadium. And they're not going to get rid of I mean, it's a prime location, the Wanderers grounds, but they're not going to get rid of the horses because it's too polluted. Been there 100 years, apparently, but I read, I don't know if that's true or not. And they say they own that land. I don't think they did. The city owns the Wanderers grounds and the commons. Well, we do. Property taxpayers own it. But that, if you turned it and reconfigured it, and the lawn bowling went, that's behind the kitchen party section there, that he's putting stands there now. Listen, the lawn bowling should be over in the commons, a way better spot for it, okay? They need a new dressing room, and put it over there. And by the way, horses, I believe the Lancers should be moved. I mean, Exhibition Park would be perfect out there, better than downtown Halifax. All the druggies down there in tents, all the people speeding and criminals down there that they're promoting all over, druggies all over Spring Garden Road. That's not a good place for it. No one goes down there anymore. Spent $25 million of money, facelift at Spring Garden Road, to promote all these druggies on the streets, drug panhandlers all over our intersections and our sidewalks, and in these druggy tent cities in Halifax. It's basically the capital drug-tent city and capital drug panhandler city of Canada. You know? You bunch of clowns. You destroyed our city. You're destroying our city. And your stupid little Mickey Mouse. Yes, let's talk about Derek Martin and his CPL, his Halifax Wanderers soccer team. Yeah, you average around 5,000 or less to a game. That's peanuts. And you didn't have any economic numbers to tell the city during your presentation, Derek Martin, because 5,000 or less doesn't do much economically for the city. You know, doesn't matter if you got 16 games a year. Really, it doesn't. It's you know, I mean, we used to get that. Sidney Crosby with Halifax when the Dartmouth in the Nova Scotia Championship midget AAA, Dartmouth Subways, when Sidney Crosby was there, when my son was on that team. Okay. Anyway, let's talk about the CPL. Let's talk about what kind of shape the CPL. Your Derek Martin, okay, and your Halifax Wanderers. You're talking about 30-year lease. You kidding me? Okay. Listen, they may not even be around in 3 years. You know why? Edmonton, Edmonton had a CPL team, doesn't exist anymore. They had no attendance. Guess what? Winnipeg Blue Bombers, who owns a CPL team, because Bob Young talked him into it. The owner of the Hamilton Part, now 60% owner of the Hamilton Tigers, Tiger Cats, and Wayne Miller, the CEO, said they can't afford to keep. They don't get no fans. They've got no fans at where the Bombers play. Okay, Bombers had sold out Banjo Bowl, 33,500. Saskatchewan sold out 32,300, and the Labor Day game. Can you imagine? You know, they don't even get 2,000 fans. They don't even get 1,000 fans to a soccer game there, a CPL game in Winnipeg. And they said they can't keep losing them. They're going to be folding next year. They said they'll probably fold next year. York is up for sale. I don't believe they've been sold. They get nobody in York and the Toronto area. They get nobody. They're not going to be around. They're going to be out of business. And by the way, Saskatchewan, Saskatoon, we're going to put another, just like, yeah, Derek Martin, you know, 6'5", you know, they have a CPL soccer team. They're building it. It's all political. Just for him. It's just for Derek Martin and his Halifax Wanderers. It's just for him, by the way. Which is the same one Saskatoon was 40 million, Sac same one, 8,500, and they canned it. They canned the whole project. They canned it. It's gone. It's not, because it's not even viable. They don't even get fans. Why spend $40 million? It's a waste of money. Take that $40 million, put it towards modest 100 to 110 million. Stadium, building at Goresbrook, across from St. Mary's at the high school, the junior high lands there. Perfect place to build. And then you could build something, 24,000, like Hamilton, expandable to 30 for a Grey Cup game, which is Hamilton's going to have this year, 31,000. And Kutsa, hey, good for Hamilton, being Winnipeg Blue Bombers, sell out, 25,000. Yeah, so much for that theory. Sleazebag Mayor Savage saying that all the CFL only gets around 15,000 fans, 13,000. So yeah, you sleazebag running down the CFL game. You don't know it. You don't even watch it. You don't even watch the CFL. You don't even know what's going on. Making a statement like that. You can have your little Mickey Mouse little thing at the Wanderers grounds. And by the way, so the CPL is not even going to be around. They're not even going to be around. Signing a 30-year lease, you kidding me? They're not even going to be around. But something interesting I want to say here. St. Mary's, okay, where Touchdown Atlantic was. Guess what? The stands is all torn down. I was going to go to the St. Mary's game, see if I could get some information. I know the coach, find out what's going on. No people there, no people work there. So management, and see what's going to be going on. They didn't put the bleachers back on the side where the main stands were, so the 7,500 stands were, but it's all taken down, all of it. But I haven't gone down to the press boxes that they put up. The extra ones were taken down, but apparently they're coming down too at some point. But they didn't move those. The almost 1,000 of the only 5-row bleachers, but it's about 900 or so that were sitting in the end zone of Touchdown Landing. By the way, there was about 10,500 seats actually, not counting the party side, the standing party for Touchdown touchdown landing, and that little Mickey Mouse thing, Derek Martin, 8,500 permanent seats, right? Yeah, he's got a roof over it. It's wood. I'll show you a little bit before I talk about St. Mary's in a second before I go. So there's another shot. I don't know if you can see it. There's another shot of it from that angle, because I only got 2 minutes left. I'm going to be doing CFL weekend this past weekend. I'm going to do on the games right after this coming up. I want to talk some CFL football. There's the wooden chassis. There's the modular prefabricated. The way they're going to do it, it looks like cedar. It's wood. Okay, that's rather nice. But look how small it is. I mean, look, it's only 20 rows. 20 rows, and skyboxes both of them. But St. Mary's, they tore it down, and so they didn't put those low 5-row bleachers back there on that other side where the main stands were for touchdown landing. So I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to find out. I'm going down there. I'm going to talk to the management down there. I'm going to find out. I'm going to talk to the coach, Steve. I know the coach, St. Mary's Huskies. I'm going to find out what's going on, and I'll have it for your next session. I'll find out what the heck's happening down there and see if they're going to go there. Now, the track would have to go, and that could be a big, but they still have those bleachers up on half of the track in the end zone that was there for touchdown landing. So, you know, and it's not an 8-lane track, and it's, you know, they only have one track meet a year, or not even that. So I don't know what's going to happen. They'd have to use the whole track. There's exchange that comes out off the cafeteria that's at the 35-yard line. That's why they only have 30 rows there, not 40 from the 35 down into the end zone, one of the end zones. But they would have to come up with something, a design that they could put 20,000 minimum permanent seats in there, okay, using the track where the building side is. They'll take the old equipment room out, and they can, lots of room in that far end zone, okay. And they'll have to come up with design. They have to have back seats. They probably would have to have a roof as well. They got to compete with this clown, this Derek Martin and Mir Savage and them. And they'd have to come up with something that they can design using the track and come up with 20 to 22,000 permanent seats, minimum of 20, and expandable in the end zones. Take care, Spider, Hickam Spiders, CFL Red Zone. Well, that's it.